Good evening, everyone. I am Alpha Grace Sumlos, and I would like to present to you the Simborio of Taguig City. The Simborio is a dome-shaped structure located at the center of Santa Ana Cemetery in Taguig in the Philippines. It was built by the Filipinos during the 18th century through the supervision of Spanish friars. As you can see in the picture, there is a small cross that is situated on the top of the dome. The Simborio also have an 11th stairway with rails on the left and right side, leading up to the arch entrance door, which is made of welded iron. The Simborio is situated at the entrance portion of a 2.5 hectares Roman Catholic cemetery, and it is owned by the Archdiocesan Shrine of St. Anne under the supervision of Diocese of Pasig. The Diocese of Pasig is a diocese of the Latin Rite of the Catholic Church in the Philippines that comprises Pasig City, Pateros, and Taguig City in Metro Manila. The Simborio is made of adobe stone walls bounded by lime, egg white, and clay. The entire measurement of Simborio is 173 square meter and 8 meters in height. The Simborio is surrounded by tombs and some vegetation. This is the picture of Simborio in many different angles. The left side of the Simborio, the rear of the Simborio, right side of the Simborio, window on the left side, window on the right side, plant roots penetrating the walls, interiors of the Simborio, inside of the Simborio, the topmost, rear of the entrance door, and the balcony. Historical significance. This significant immovable and tangible heritage site was constructed around year 1700 by 200 Taguig Pulistas under the supervision of Spanish friars, particularly by the order of St. Augustine Priest through the Four Slave Wars or Polo y Servicio. Based on the records of the Agustinian in the Philippines, Simborio or Cementerio del Globo is considered as one of the oldest historical landmarks continually to exist today in the Philippines. Preservation method. Some measures to protect and conserve the Simborio was made in 1980 and 1993 by the Church through the support of the local government of Taguig. But the original feature of the Simborio was maintained. Lately, the Diocese of Pasig has made some major renovation and improvements at the cemetery, which includes the demolition of old tombs to give room for the construction of an apartment-type columbarium. Installations of light were also made. Security personnel are also assigned to protect the site from vandals and trespassers. Threats. First, natural disaster. In 1963, a flood occurred at the cemetery which causes the fishes tilapia to swim across the site and ate fresh cadavers. Because of this, the Simborio was also dubbed as Bangkay Street. Another natural disaster that can damage the site is earthquake. Second, the condition or status of the Simborio is continuously deteriorating. Some of these are due to the impact of people roaming in the area. They vandalized the Simborio and sometimes left their garbage around the surroundings. Other threat considered is the construction of a mall in the proximity that makes the integrity of the structure of the Simborio to quiver. Also, the huge trees beside the Simborio, which makes the roots of the trees penetrate within the core structure of the Simborio. The story of Simborio. The Simborio or Simborium is the centerpiece of the cemetery and serves as a chapel for the final blessing before it was finally laid into rest. The place is also used as repository of bones since time immemorial. During the Spanish era, Insulares and Peninsulares were the only people allowed to be buried here. Ilustrados and Indios were strictly not allowed. The Peninsulares are pure-blooded Spaniards, born from Spain and went to Spanish colonies to govern. And the Insulares are European descent but born in the colonies of Spain. While the Ilustrados belong to European educated middle-class Filipinos. Many names we know and remember today in our country belong to this class. One of them is Juan Luna. But after some time, it is said that some El Gobernadorcillo, parish priest, and alcalde mayor were allowed to be buried at the site. One of them is Alcalde Mayor Jose Pagtakhan. He serves as a mayor of Taguig from 1916 to 1925. The story associated with the site is an underground tunnel under the Simborio that was said connected to the altar of St. Anne Church. The said tunnel also serves as an escapeway or hideouts of soldiers and inhabitants during the American colonial and Japanese occupation period. The picture below is the St. Anne Church. If you walk from Simborio going to St. Anne Church, it is only about 2 minutes. During the martial law period in December of 1972, the site was closed from the public access because of the excavation project, including the back area of St. Anne Church, where the altar is located. Gold and other treasures were the purpose of the 2 platoons of Philippine Army personnel who spearheaded the digging at the area that lasted until February 1973. Now, the tunnel was already covered with the concrete for security reasons. The Simborio is an important cultural property of the Taguig that deserves a national recognition and should be listed at the Philippine Registry of Cultural Property as National Historical Landmark.